then and some blood tests, and then we'll get those results and we can kind of talk about it at some stage, but that's fine. So I was like, okay, not a problem. So I'm driving, go. It sounds like a sideline story, but I park my car and pay and display thinking, I'll be out in an hour, it's fine, whatever. And I go into the hospital and like, I've got the ECG or the bloods. So I think I go and get my ECG and I go in and the guy's like, hold on a second. And it's like, I'll be back in a minute. And I thought, okay, fine. And then he's like, okay, so this consultant comes in and starts asking me this question, has anyone in your family died of a heart attack at a young age? Like the most, like the immediate like thing that you see and you hear, and you're just a bit like, no. And then like, you sure? And like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm all right. And he was the first person I thought, well, I did faint a couple of days ago at this theme park, and and then he was like, okay, you need to stay, we need to give you an ultrasound. And I'm like, okay, but I've got an appointment. He's like, cancel that. Like, I was like, okay. And so I then got my bloods done, and then I extended the car parking, and then had the ultrasound. And then he came in again after the ultrasound, and he was like, there's something going on. You can't leave the hospital, and we need to get you a bed. And the best way to get you a bed is we need to check you into A&E now. And that's the easiest way for us to be able to then allocate you something. And I was still a little bit like, hold on a second. And then it was kind of then this comedy moment of, but my car's on pay and display. Like, I can't stay. I need to. And he said, well, how far away do you live? Well, I was like, I'm 5 minutes. He said, okay, go and take your car home and then come back immediately and then go straight to A&E, and we'll leave a note to say that you're coming, but this, you have to do this. And I remember just being like, okay. And again, this like doubts and being like, really, is this like, can this be happening to me? It's fine. And I drove home, and then I remember calling, I called my mum and I was like, this is going on. She's like, okay, do you want me to come? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just like, you just think you're fine, it's fine. And then I spoke to my brother, I remember at the time. I sent him a message. I called him and he replied me, I'm in a planning meeting. So I go, oh, okay. And then I just messaged him back going, okay, I'm just coming home. There's something wrong with my heart. They want me to go back into A&E. I'm sure I'm fine, but like, call me later. And so I go back home, and what was quite good, I guess, I got my laptop, I got some clothes, got some pajamas. I kind of was just like, get what I need, fine. And then when I messaged my brother back, I mean, immediately he calls me. He's like, you're right. I was like, to be honest, I have no idea. I feel okay, but they want me to go in. So I've got my stuff. I'm getting an Uber back now to go in. So like, so far it's like, okay. But still in this bit, I guess from a denial perspective, and just a bit like, I'm sure everything's fine. So then I get to A&E and they checked me in, and it was an amazing service. They've got these amazing new booths in bays where you've got like blue sky on the ceiling, and it's like it's been redone, I think, a couple of years ago, or even more recent. I felt like just amazingly looked after, and they did, they did a couple of tests, whatever, but really they knew that I needed to stay. And I still didn't really understand why, aside from the fact that my ECG just wasn't normal, or the rhythm, there's something going on that they were very concerned about. And then meanwhile, then the rest of my family like found out, or like I've got 3 brothers and 1 sister, and obviously my dad and stuff. So gradually, and then I think my brother called my mum, was like, no, get to London, like James is in hospital, please come, kind of thing. And bless her, she did arrive a few hours later. She lives near Oxford, so she came in, and then I just remember that afternoon just being like, I'm not really sure what's going on, and I guess just a lot of uncertainty. And I then got transferred to a bed, and that's kind of, it was just this crazy time, and I guess this uncertainty and fear of what was going to happen. And it was difficult.
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine. Do you think at that point it really ever started to register at all that something was really wrong, or do you think you were still kind of in that, oh, I'll be fine, it's nothing?
Yeah, I guess the escalation quite quickly was, yeah, there was definitely something, but still this like, yeah, but I'm fine. I guess
Mm,
maybe also just my reticence, like doctors in general, hospitals, and being like, no, I'm, I feel, again, I've generally been very healthy. There's nothing. So yeah, but it was
yeah.
definitely, I think it was like going to sleep that night in the hospital. That wasn't fun. It was,
Mm,
something's going on here, and those immediate
yeah.
questions: has anyone died from a heart attack at a young age? I mean, that's a very confronting. I know the doctors are doing their job. It's just like their bedside manner sometimes and confrontment. It's like, oh god. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, because I know that I imagine there might be people watching who are also very like yourself, maybe a bit, reluctant to go into hospital or to be checked out because, we all think we're invincible sometimes. What would you say to those people potentially if they've maybe had a few things happen that have just raised a bit of concern or have just been out of character?
yeah. Look, I mean, the body is so complex, and clearly there are so many things that could happen. And I just think, you know, the challenge is looking back. Any of those situations, should I have gone to the hospital or should I have gone to the GP? Maybe after I got back from Copenhagen, which was a month earlier, should I have gone and said, look, I climbed up there was a very logical reason why I didn't. I just thought, oh, that's fine. But yeah, look, I would say, again, we'll talk more about the condition specifically, but to be diagnosed, apparently 1 in 500 people in the UK have this condition. So it's like a huge number of people. And most of the time, most people live the whole of their lives not being diagnosed and they're fine. And even when you are diagnosed, it means you can often, for many people, live a normal life expectancy. The big challenge about the condition is if you don't know, then suddenly things can happen and sudden cardiac arrest
Mm,
can happen. And that's what's scary. So if anyone watching, if you are concerned about absolutely anything, and I guess any of my stories that I've shared so far, moments have happened or things that happen that are a bit unexplained, or you're feeling more breathless, especially when you're going up an incline or a slope, and it really, I mean, again, it's amazing.
mm,
I'm a big skier and I can ski for 30 kilometers a day without getting breathless. It's a very different, part of the body from what I understand that how it works. And, but literally anytime I'm on an incline and like, had I been more aware about this condition and what was going on, again, I think I would have obviously like questioned it some more. So yeah, anyone which I'd just really encourage you, however small, however think it is, it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's better, and just be explicit about that this has happened. And even if you're watching this and then, asking for an ECG, again, it's a non-invasive procedure. They put some wires on you and you get this scan. And again, they're able to tell very quickly if there's something not right, with your heart. So yeah, I think that's
mm.
very key.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, James. I think in the next episode, we're going to touch on what comes next and a little bit more about the actual diagnosis. So, looking forward to that. And thank you guys for watching.
Thanks so much. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out the British Heart Foundation, Cardiomyopathy UK, and Save 9 Lives. Feel free to comment on the video and subscribe.